Vilma, what would it take? What would it take to have an effective decentralized waste management system to spread across the city?
It will require commitment and participation of all the stakeholders. We can't just have a BBMP take the responsibility for all our waste. So therefore, it will mean that each one of us who generates waste begins with segregation, understanding waste, and not just putting the responsibility onto a maid, onto the BBMP, onto government. It has to be across all sections of society. Of course, the BBMP will have a responsibility. The BBMP has to also make sure in communities there will have to be door-to-door collection, but the door-to-door collection will be of segregated waste. They will have to ensure that there are enough of kasarasas or waste management centers, dry waste centers, etc. across the city, so that the segregated waste can be processed at site rather than go into a dump area. So there is a requirement for each of us to play our part in waste management, and it is possible. It's fully possible.
Vilma, I believe many companies auction e-waste to the highest bidder. They don't bother about anything else. They don't follow the e-waste guidelines. How do you handle these companies?
See, that is precisely the problem when people think wealth is waste, or rather, they will expect wealth out of waste, because everyone's thinking that, here we have an opportunity.
Waste is wealth.
Sorry. Waste is wealth, yeah.
Can you say it again?
Yeah, I mean, that is the typical concept of, what is it? Waste is wealth. Sorry. Wealth.
Waste is wealth.
Waste is wealth. No, wealth from waste.
Wealth from waste. Wealth from waste. You can say it again, please.
Yeah, that is.
I am talking about how companies auction e-waste to the highest bidder, ignoring guidelines.
Yeah, that is the typical attitude of this wealth from waste. Yeah, how much money can I get from my waste? And there is this, no thinking beyond that. Now, these companies generally also have internal policies which are aware about the government rules and the legislation, but their own internal policies are being violated. Now, we need these companies, the top management of these companies, to follow through their own policies and ensure that their own policies are not being violated. Yeah? We've seen it across companies in Bangalore where e-waste is still not going to the authorized e-waste recyclers.
How many companies in Bangalore have tied up with you?
Well, we have about 18 companies for our complete waste management program that are part of our complete waste management program.
Do you keep going to companies and explain to your concept? Can you explain to them your concept?
We continuously go. We continuously participate in whatever way they want us to, but we still have not reached even a very small portion of Bangalore's
Unlike residents who may say that we can't pay that much, companies can pay.
Yes.
Why is the residents? What do you think is why?
See, we are really surprised, because if you look at a budget of a company of 1,000 employees, they spend about 1 lakh on paper cups. And 1 lakh on paper cups, because they use about 10,000 paper cups per day. And when we do a waste audit, it comes up very clearly that so much of money is being spent on paper cups. But yet, if our requirement is that we have staff that will, manage this waste for them, including their tissues and their paper cups, and for which they have to pay us a service fee, which is a fraction of what they would pay for those paper cups per month. And somehow, even those budgets are just not made available. The problem really is that we've seen top management not taking interest. Yeah? And finally, the decisions are made, lower down by corporates and companies. Now, if the top management would take an interest and make it a policy that, look, we have to recycle 90% of our waste, then it would make things much easier for us.
I really hope this message reaches the top management today after raising that. Vilma, BBMP has disposed of BBMP has disposed of litter bins. Is it a wise move?
The litter bins have their use, because finally, you know, especially in commercial areas like a mall or in a road like commercial street, instead of the waste going on a street in terms of, you know, waste which people are using, Tetra Pak or paper cups, etc., it can go into a litter bin. So it has its uses, but again people have to use it for the you know, for the purpose of which it is there. You can't put waste out of a litter bin, it should go into the litter bin. Finally, you need to have the people on the shops on the commercial streets, or you have to have the BBMP collect that waste and put it to a collection center and to a recycling center rather than put it into a dump site.
That's good. Do you suggest they should be back at public places at least?
I am saying at least it can be in commercial areas, that you have just litter bins, not dump bins, not these concrete round bins that have been removed. Very good that they are no longer there, but the litter bins can be there, monitored litter bins can be there in some of the commercial areas.
Vilma, a number of NGOs are involved in solid waste management like Saahas. Won't it be nice if all of them come under one umbrella for better coordination?
Actually, we've already done that, and I think maybe the solid waste management roundtable will also, you know, this forum that we have formed called the Solid Waste Roundtable is a single forum where all of us are working together under one roof. Yeah.
Oh, great.
So we are interacting, engaging, so that our voice becomes louder.
Oh, great. Vilma, what is your last advice to citizens? As well as, once again, there is nothing wrong if you can give out the contact number of yours to our listeners.
I am just saying, all citizens be part of the solution, and there are enough of solutions for you to choose. Yeah, you can choose your solution, what best fits you, but be part of the solution. And Saahas is one solution. I mean, there are other options for you. If you want to get in touch with us, do call us on 416-89889 or mail us at response@saahas.org.